You're listening to Hot Topics on Good Mix Radio, hosted by Mike Melody and Sheila Harmony. And each week, they dive into the top trends, pop culture moments, and viral stories dominating the web. They unpack the chaos with humor, sharp takes, and insights you won't find anywhere else.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're not just scratching the surface today.
No, we're really plunging in.
Exactly. We're looking at what really grabbed people's attention online, specifically the top trending Google searches from May. Think of it as your shortcut to knowing what everyone was buzzing about.
It's a great way to get informed fast, yeah.
Right.
We've dug into the data, and honestly, it shows a pretty amazing range of subjects that sparked curiosity, especially in the U.S.
Right. We're focusing on the U.S. today. And 5 big topics really jumped out, didn't they?
They really did.
We've got the Superman 2025 movie, that reality show Outdoor Boys, the Diddy trial stuff, the Final Destination movies, and Morgan Wallen.
Quite the mix.
It really is. And, these aren't just random clicks. They kind of paint a picture of what America was collectively thinking about, or at least searching for.
That's the idea. We're using Google Trends data, filtered just for the United States, and basically sorting through the noise to see what really mattered to people search-wise in May.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's dive into these 5, figure out why they were trending, and see what it tells us about, well, us. First up, Superman 2025. Big one. Feels like more than just another movie release.
Oh, definitely. There's a lot of anticipation. It's not just, another installment. It's tied into this whole new vision for the DC universe.
Right.
And the casting, David Corenswet as Superman, that alone generated so much buzz. The goal, apparently, is to capture the spirit of truth, justice, and the American way, but, with a modern feel.
A modern twist, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big promise. And James Gunn is directing. That brings its own set of expectations for fans.
Huge expectations. He even said something like, we're not just making a Superman film, we're building a universe that honors the character's heritage. So the stakes feel pretty high.
Wow. Yeah. No pressure then.
None at all. And all this, plus Superman just being... Well, Superman. It's kicked off this massive wave of fan theories and speculation online.
Oh, I bet. What kind of stuff?
Everything, really. Plot twists, who the villain might be, which other DC characters could show up. People are dissecting every little crumb of information.
Right, like, is Lex Luthor going to be different this time? Will we see more of Krypton? It's like a huge online detective game before the movie's even close to release.
Exactly. And you see fans saying things like they hope Corenswet brings... a new level of depth to the character. The expectations are just sky high.
It really shows how much staying power these iconic characters have, doesn't it? People are still so invested.
Deeply invested, even after all these years and versions.
Okay, complete change of pace now. Let's talk about Outdoor Boys. This reality TV show, apparently it's been taking America by storm. Adventure, drama, viral sensation. I admit this one's new to me. What's the deal?
Well, the concept itself is pretty simple, which might be part of the appeal. It's basically a group of young people doing outdoor stuff, hiking, camping, some extreme sports.
Wow.
They come from different backgrounds, and the show plays up the mix of, teamwork, but also competition between them. Seems to strike a chord.
So, less polished, maybe, than some adventure shows.
Yeah.
What made it trend so hard in May?
A lot of reality TV, a bit of controversy definitely helps get people searching.
Oh, naturally.
And Outdoor Boys apparently had some of those moments. There was some kind of dispute with a local guide mentioned in the sources.
Oh, okay. Classic reality friction.
Yep. And there were also, it seems, some accusations about rule breaking within the group that led to, confrontations. That kind of drama always gets people talking and Googling.
Right, trying to get the inside scoop.
Yeah.
But the source also mentioned social media being huge for its popularity.
Oh, absolutely critical. TikTok and Twitter especially. Short, punchy clips from the show just went viral. Stuff that was funny or maybe a bit dramatic. It pulled in viewers who might never have found it otherwise. Plus, the cast and crew were apparently pretty active online, engaging with fans, sharing extra bits.
So they really leaned into that online buzz.
Totally. It became this trending topic across various online platforms, really driving those searches.
Amazing how fast that can happen now.
Yeah.
Okay, switching gears again to something more serious. The Diddy legal proceedings. This was unavoidable in the headlines in May, a real focal point. What were the main developments keeping it trending?
May was definitely a key month. The prosecution reportedly brought forward some new evidence, which always gets attention.
Right.
And there were some high-profile witnesses who testified. Their accounts, offering potentially new angles or details on the case. Plus, the defense made some key arguments that got people talking.
So actual movement in the case, not just waiting around.
Yeah.
These witnesses providing firsthand accounts, maybe surprising details that must have fueled a lot of the searches.
Absolutely. Anytime someone speaks with direct knowledge, people want to know exactly what was said, what it means for the case. It adds that layer of intrigue.
And the media coverage must have been wall to wall.
Extensive, yeah. And public reaction, as you'd expect with someone so well-known, was described as mixed. Lots of debate online, hashtags trending on social media. And it goes beyond just the trial itself, right? These things often spark wider conversations about celebrity, the justice system, related social issues.
Yeah, they become these cultural touchstones almost, forcing broader discussions. Okay, let's shift again. Horror fans, this one's for you. Final Destination. The anticipated return got people talking, it seems.
Yes. After quite a wait, the official news of a new sequel really sparked excitement in the horror community.
Good news for them.
Details are still coming out slowly, but everyone expects that, signature style of premonitions and unexpected twists. That formula.
Oh, yeah. Those films are legendary for their creative death scenes, let's be honest. Gruesome, but inventive.
They definitely made their mark. They're cult classics now. And it's interesting how horror trends really drive searches. Well, when news about a beloved franchise like this drops, fans immediately go searching. They want every scrap of info. Final Destination has this unique blend of suspense and shocking moments that's built a really loyal fan base over the years.
They know what they like, and they want more of it. Makes sense. Okay, fifth and final topic. Morgan Wallen. May was a significant month for the country star. Lots happening.
Yeah, he was definitely making a lot of noise, as you said. His tour was huge, sold-out shows across the U.S. Reports mentioned really high-energy performances, connecting with the crowd.
Playing the hits, new stuff, too.
Exactly, mixing it up. And on top of the tour, his new music releases were doing incredibly well in May.
Charting high.
Yep, significant airplay, topping charts on different platforms, really solidified his spot as, a major player in country music right now.
Now, the sources also brought up controversies and public statements, adding to the search volume. Seems like that follows a lot of big stars.
It often does. There was media coverage around some incidents in May, and that certainly contributed to people searching his name.
Right.
But it's also noted that despite those challenges, his core fan base stayed very loyal, and the music itself kept performing really well. So it's that mix, the tour success, the new hits, and the public interest around the controversies that made him such a prominent figure and a top search.
It's that complex interaction between the art and the artist's public life, driving interest from multiple angles. Okay, let's zoom out a bit. Looking at all these trends, it's clear social media plays a massive part in what we end up searching for on Google. You mentioned TikTok earlier.
Yeah, TikTok's influence is undeniable, especially for something like Outdoor Boys. The platform thrives on that short, catchy content.
Right.
The show's mix of adventure and maybe slightly provocative content was perfect for TikTok snippets. User videos, cast members getting involved. It just exploded from there, sending people to Google to find out what is this show.
So TikTok creates the spark. Google fuels the fire for more info. What about Twitter? How does that fit in?
Twitter acts more like the public square for debate and news flashes. The source called it a content journey from Twitter debates to Google queries.
I like that.
Yeah, a topic starts trending, people argue about it, share links, ask questions, and that naturally leads them to Google for more depth, for fact-checking, for the full story. It really shows how interconnected everything is. Social media and search engines are constantly feeding each other.
It's a loop. A constant information cycle. So finally, what does this whole mix, Superman, Outdoor Boys, Diddy, Final Destination, Morgan Wallen, tell us about American entertainment tastes in May?
Well, it offers a really fascinating insight, I think. You see this clear balance between news events and pop culture. You've got the pure escapism and anticipation of Superman 2025 right alongside the real-world, news-driven interest in the Diddy trial. It shows we're interested in both. We want entertainment, but we also want to stay informed.
A bit of everything.
Okay.
Were there any regional patterns? Did different parts of the U.S. search for different things more?
Yeah, there were some regional differences mentioned, like Superman searches were apparently a bit higher on the coasts.
Interesting.
Whereas Final Destination interests seemed more spread out across the country. It just highlights that even nationally trending topics can have these local nuances and priorities.
So May really was a snapshot of diverse interests. Superheroes, reality TV, legal dramas, horror, country music. Quite the spread.
It really was. Superman and Final Destination show, those big genres still have massive pull. Outdoor Boys proves that new, maybe unexpected content can break through in a big way.
And Diddy's trial shows our continued fascination with high-profile legal stories, while Morgan Wallen confirms country music's strong, ongoing appeal.
Exactly. These trends give us clues about what people are engaging with, which is, super valuable information for anyone creating content or just trying to understand the cultural pulse.
Definitely. So maybe a final thought for you, our listener, to chew on. When you look at this mix, superheroes, survival shows, court cases, horror flicks, country songs, what deeper human needs or desires do you think are driving these searches? Are we looking for escape, justice, connection? Maybe something else entirely pushing us to click and learn more about these specific stints. We're thinking about the why behind our collective curiosity.